One of the things I hear people say all the time is agree to disagree. And I don't believe that is a good way to maintain a relationship. Because the more you agree to disagree, you tend to label the person that you find disagreeable disagreeable. It's like in the human mind, we like to label things so that way like we know what they're for. And I use this analogy. If you like ketchup and you only like ketchup on your hamburgers and french fries, you will not necessarily use ketchup on things like an omelet or eggs. Like some people like ketchup on their eggs because in their mind they've already put a label on ketchup. Ketchup is for this, right? So if you always find yourself saying, okay, especially with your spouse, like you're like, well, let's agree to disagree. And you come away from a discussion, conversation with that mindset, and you're labeling your spouse disagreeable, chances are that more than likely you're going to avoid talking to them about things that you know that you are going to label this is something they're going to disagree with. So why even bother talking to them about it? And the more things you find that you don't want to talk to your spouse about, the more there's a separation, a gap, right? The gap of separation starts. I like to say, instead of saying let's agree to disagree, why not say let's agree that you have a valid point and I have a valid point, but we're seeing it from two different perspectives. If you come away from a discussion or conversation saying, you have a different point of view than I have, we don't necessarily have to disagree to agree, right? Because ultimately what you're saying is I disagree with your point of view, or I disagree with your point. I don't think your point is valid. That's what saying disagree, agree to disagree. But if you say, you do have a valid point, we're just seeing it from two different perspectives, then that helps to foster or create an environment where when there are things that you want to discuss with your partner, your spouse, you find yourself saying, let me go find out what they think because they do see things differently from a different angle, right? And they usually have a good, valid point. They may not agree or see it from my point of view, but they do have a valid point. And so it closes the gap and it causes you guys to communicate more than to communicate less. Peace out.